Julia.
Hello,
Change
hello.
of Colours, it's so lovely to talk to you. Why did you choose the name Change of Colours? What is it about the name that you like?
Um, that's actually a really funny story behind, because I started my Instagram in 2013 or something,
Yeah?
and back then I really, really, really loved to drink beer and to eat meat,
Okay.
like for a really long period of my life. But then there was a big change happening.
Yeah?
And suddenly I stopped drinking, I stopped eating meat, and I was like, okay, I need a new name because my name was Beer.
Was it? That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
I loved
Beer.
it so much. But then I was like, okay, I need a new name. This
I shouldn't
came
laugh, sorry, I
on.
didn't mean to laugh so much. It's just so, yeah.
Yeah, so
Beer.
I needed to come up with something new.
Yeah.
And I've always been really interested in photography and in color grading. And most
Yeah.
of my profile was me posting pictures and yeah, posting my edits. And you could really see in my timeline how my mood changes as well. With the
Yeah.
colors and with the setting and everything. So I thought maybe Change of Colors is a really nice name. So I stick to that, and then I started playing handpan and sharing more of my music. And at some point, I was thinking if I should use my real name or if I should stick to Change of Colors. But I already had grown some subscribers, and so I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just sticking to that name, and I feel like it fits really perfectly.
You see, I thought it was about the autumn. I thought you liked the changing of the colours of the trees because you
Mm,
always spend time outside amongst the trees because it's a great place to play the handpan, and you always make
mm.
these beautiful, beautiful videos, which is why you've got such a great following as well as your lovely music. But I honestly thought it was because of autumn. I thought it was because of the autumn that you called yourself Change of Colours. Maybe I read that somewhere. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I love that people have so many different associations with it, and that it also can mean so many things. Because for me, it also feels like it's connected to the change of emotions, to like going through the
Right.
waves of life, to the through the different colors, and also how the world changes. Like I don't know, like how everything is in this constant change, and to appreciate that change.
Wow, that's a lot more deeper than I expected. That's such a cool name. It's much better than beer, even though I will struggle not to call you that from now on when I speak to you on your live
Okay, then
videos.
I'm
You know what
better
I
now.
love? I love beer. So you you do love nature. You can tell, obviously, by your beautiful videos and your your photography eye. What helps you choose a location for your videos? What do you do? Do you just go out for a walk
Mm.
one day and just note places that you like? Tell me how you choose the process. What's the process of you choosing a location for your videos?
Um, yeah, so of course there's some places that I already know that I've discovered like through all the years and also through making photo shootings at different places. But now with shooting the handpan videos, there's another really big component that's so important, and that's having quiet. Yeah,
We'll come back to
and
that.
yeah. And this makes everything so much more difficult actually because I cannot use the same locations that I use for the photography shootings.
Yeah,
So sometimes I look up some different locations on Google Maps, for example. Then I zoom in on like different places where I see, oh, there's only a lot of nature around and not so many streets.
I see.
Maybe some kind of like national park that we don't have so many around here, but yeah, like basically areas where it's many fields and forests and something like that. Yeah, so often something like that. It also depends on how much time I have. Sometimes I
Yeah,
also go into a park in my city, and I'm like, okay, I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to be kind of quiet.
yeah.
Yeah, so it depends. But
So sometimes it's a bit of an adventure for you because you've never been to these places before, right? That
yeah,
must be
it
quite
is.
exciting.
It is. It is. Yeah.
when you get there, does that affect how you play? Do you think you've watched back sometimes on your videos? You think, well, I've played like that because I was in that location, or does it not
Yeah,
work like that?
definitely, definitely. Like sometimes I have an idea when I sit down. I'm like, okay, I want to record like this exact melody, and like what happens after, I have no idea. But sometimes it's also like, oh, I want to sit down here and let the yeah, just feel into the vibe of the environment, and then play from that place. And yeah, it's also really nice to take that all in and to transform it into melodies.
Now, I don't know if you started to share more things with people recently, or whether I've just missed it. But for the first time, I think yesterday, I saw you getting a bit cross on camera because of the noise. Right? I don't think I've ever seen you cross before, and it was like you're sitting there like I like. "Ooh." The man with the dog was barking, and then the man was spraying something, and I guess that happens to you quite a lot, right? That must happen a lot.
Yes, it does. And actually, after I shared it, I got so many messages from other people that share the handpan playing, that make handpan videos as well. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is so relatable. And it seems like
Yeah,
so many people know that problem. And it seems like our world is just so loud. And I
yeah.
never recognized it until I started making these videos. It's crazy.
You know, before I talk to you, I was going to try and make a joke about getting you to turn around so I could check if you had wings, because I honestly thought you were a fairy that lived in the forest. Because you always sit before you got cross yesterday. I thought maybe she lives in the special forest in the middle of nowhere in a magic world where there's this lovely woodland everywhere. But obviously, no, I know it's silly. You're not obviously
I
a fairy.
wish, I wish. I really wish.
So,
Yeah, it's interesting. We build some kind of fantasy world in these videos, but it's
yeah,
also something that I enjoy. I mean, of course, it's creating some kind of false picture, but at the same time, I think it's so nice to share something that makes people dream. So, yeah, I feel like
absolutely.
this has also its place. And it's so much fun to create these videos.
Well, you give lots of people so much happiness and joy when they watch your videos, listen to your music. But let's talk a little bit more about maybe one of the stories about one of your videos that you were speaking to me on Instagram. There's one of your videos called "A Place Called Home." What happened on that day when you decided to play in that location for that piece of music?
I finally found a place where there's no planes because I
Yeah,
had it in so many of my videos that there were airplanes suddenly, and I was like, oh, not again. But then I found this location. I was like, oh my gosh, like finally I have some quiet and I can record some couple of videos in a row. There were no people around, like it was basically perfect. And I even saw a fox
oh, lovely.
during one of the videos. It was so nice.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, and on that particular day, I recorded a couple of videos where I had an idea before. But there was also a place, like actually for the video, a place called Home, where it was like, okay, I really want to record a video here, but I don't have a specific idea in mind. So I just sit down, I just start to play. Um, and it's really, really, really nice. And it was so surprising to me that that especially this video, like so many people loved. Like it got, it has gotten so many views. Like I don't know what it was. Like maybe also the title and the thing that I know, like
yeah,
also put in,
yeah,
but also that I played something that was just happening in that exact moment. I mean, the other videos are also like that, of course, but it's always some elements that I found like, I don't know, like a couple of weeks or a couple of days before.
yeah.
And then I start to improvise on that. But with that piece, it was like completely out of the blue. And yeah, it was really nice to create something like that as well, and that so many people seem to like it. Mm,
And if do you ever dream about a location that you would like to play in that you haven't yet played in? You would think, I really want to play in a place like that. Is there a place where you can think that?
I did a road trip down the West Coast, on the US West Coast in 2015, and I absolutely loved the whole nature there. We have seen so many coasts and forests and mountains and like so many beautiful landscapes, and my dream is really to go back there and record a lot of videos there because the nature was just so stunning, and also the light, and there was fog, and there were the most beautiful sunsets, and really just, I don't know, like doing a road trip and recording like everywhere. I can
Yeah.
totally imagine that. Like, this is definitely a place where I want to go back, but at the same time, there's so many beautiful places on this earth that I haven't discovered yet, so I'm absolutely open to go anywhere.
Well, we look forward to continuing to watch your journey around this world. I think I'm sure you'll play in many places as you get more and more known across the world in the handpan world and further afield as well. So you obviously like being outside, being out in nature, Julia. Do you tell me how you feel when you're outside and being in the natural world?
Mm. Yeah, it's really, really beautiful to connect with the nature, to connect with the nature spirits. Like, I don't know, like I feel like there's so much we can learn from nature, and it's so nice because it teaches you to slow down, and that really all is well. Like, every time I go for a walk in the forest or something, like, I mean, I can have my problems, like my worldly problems in my head, but when I'm in nature and I see all the trees, I see the animals, I'm like, you know what? Like, basically everything is fine. Like, everything is perfect as it is.
Okay, well, I can talk to you about nature all night, but I've got a couple other different areas that I want to talk to you about as well, and that is obviously your playing,
Sure.
your the way that you play and how
Mm.
you play. Now, you just said there, I was listening, that you said you don't know what you're going to play sometimes, but when
Mhm.
you sit with the handpan, do you see patterns or are patterns in there in your mind that you would like to play, or do you naturally know what they're going to sound like when you go through your chord progressions? How do you approach sitting there and freestyling? Maybe is that what you do?
Yeah, it's actually really hard to answer for me. I'm always trying to decipher my process, because for me, so many things feel natural and quite intuitive for me. But of
Yeah.
course, I also learned them at some point, so there was, of course, a structure behind. I would say that sometimes it's a conscious decision for me. Like, I know, okay, now I want to start with this pattern, and now I want to go in that. But sometimes it's also like experimenting. Sometimes I know kind of what it's going to sound like when I'm going to play this or that, or sometimes I have a vague idea about it. And of course, the better I know my instrument, the more I feel comfortable in that. So,
Do your feelings, how you're feeling on that day, dictate how you play? Do you think, or do you just wait until you feel calmer before you start to play?
Oh no, it does. I think it does make a huge has a huge influence, definitely. Um, I mean, of course, it's always a little bit different when the camera is there. I feel like my most authentic playing is always when there is no camera, and yeah, when I'm just by myself, or even when there's people watching, I feel like it's also really beautiful to create that space together where I can feel their energy and go and tap into my energy, and then there's this thing going on. It's really, really, really nice. Um, but yeah, I feel like as soon as there's a camera there, it's always changing something. I don't know what it is, but
You've started to do a few performances recently, haven't you, in front of audiences?
oh yeah,
Is that something quite new for you, and how has that gone recently?
yeah, it's super new. I played an open stage 2 times now this year, and in September I played my first concert. That means like I played for an hour in front of an audience, and I had a little set prepared and shared my songs, and even talked a little bit in between,
Oh,
which
well
was
done.
more nerve
Yeah.
wracking than the playing.
Yeah,
I
of
didn't
course it
expect
is.
that.
Yeah, of course. The talking is the hardest bit, right? Yeah.
It is. It is. I felt so secure in my playing, but the talking was a little bit, yeah. But I have no experience in that, though, so that was to be expected.
Yeah.
Um, but I really, really, really loved the experience. It was so nice um, to share my music in front of a live audience because, of course, like there's so many people watching my videos, and I cannot even imagine so many people at one place.
Yeah.
um but yeah, it was so nice to have this room with people, to have also the attention, like how the people were just sitting there and being like so present, so attentive, so in
Yeah.
their own world, and it was so beautiful. Like I really loved it, and it's definitely my plan to do that more next year.
Oh, that's great news. That's great news. Hopefully, we'll see you playing at festivals, and hopefully, like I've said to you before, love to be able to see you live at some point and come and see you because it
Yes,
would be quite
yes.
magical for me, for sure. Now, sometimes I play at yoga retreats. I'm very new to playing the handpan. I've been playing for about 18 months now, and sometimes I freestyle for about an hour or so,
Mm.
and I get bored of hitting the ding so much. I sit on the ding. I play that bass note. I feel like I always go back to it over and over again. Now the ding on an extended scale like you normally play, you probably have about three dings, don't you? Have three bass
Mm.
tones. Do you use those as sort of like home tones where you go back to and start another pattern, or are they just part of your melody, the ding?
Yeah, for me, it's usually the start of or the bass note that sets the I don't know how you call it, but kind of the ground for everything that I
Yeah,
play on top. Um, yeah, but it depends. Like sometimes, like what you can also do is like not playing the ding in the beginning, but playing the same note, and just like playing the progression higher, but like sticking to the same note, and then at some point going back to the ding, which is also
yeah.
like really, really, really nice to change things up and to take out the bass for a moment, and then it like hits even more when you start with the bass again. I feel like it's really nice to play with as well.
Especially the lower F2 or the two dings, right? A2, D2, or F2 that I
Yes,
play. They're so
yes.
different. They sound so. What is it about these lower octave handpans? Is that what you prefer to play, or do you like to prefer to play a whole different range of
Ah,
scales?
it really depends, but I also really love the deep scales. Like I don't know why I don't own a super low handpan by now, because I love it so much and I feel like it fits so perfect to my playing,
Yeah,
because
it does.
the tone fields are so super resonant and you just need to touch them really lightly, and it's like I feel like it's so nice for meditative playing and to really dive into the soundscape.
Yeah.
Um, but I also really love my F sharp low pygmy and the Iamara with the really high notes. I feel like they're so beautiful. I feel like you can do so much with them, and they bring such a lightness, and yeah, I don't know, something with it, and especially with the F sharp low pygmy, I feel like the really, really, really high notes, they always sound to me like stars, sometimes like shooting stars or little comets like flying
Yeah.
through the sky, and it's so beautiful. I love it so much.
I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to you, but your style of play is the only handpan player that instantly relaxes me after you've played about 3 or 4 notes when you play. It's so. I've always said this to you online that your style is so unique to you, and it instantly you know it's a change of colours sound or a song, and it's a really big honour to be able to sort of tell you that to your face, to be honest, because it's a lovely touch that you have, and it instantly calms me. It's instantly there. It's as if like it's straight away. It's like, oh, the world feels much better. All of a sudden, I know we both agree that it's harder to play slower than it is to play faster, right?
Yeah, I feel like it depends on the person. For me, it's definitely harder to play faster. Like sometimes I play with other players, and they have like a really intense style, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to keep up with them,
Yeah,
but like I cannot. It's really difficult for me, and then I need to stick to the simple things because I cannot keep up with it. But
yeah,
sometimes it's nice to be pushed to that because it's usually
yeah,
not my style. But when I play for myself, or in general, it's so much more relaxing for me if I can go into this really slower playing style. Like for me, making music is so much about going into the flow and relaxing and going to the trance-like state. And for me, it's this slower movement. But I feel like it's so different for everyone. So
So one of the questions that I sent through to you was explain the handpan using only feelings.
mm,
Could you do that?
mm. Um,
Maybe about 3 or 4 words, you think?
mhm, mm. Yeah, it's definitely emotional. Oh my gosh, so much. It's joy, it's sadness, it's um connection and flow. I
Flow is
would
a lovely
say.
word, isn't it? It
Yeah.
is. It is. It's helpful. It brings me on to something that I think is quite important in regards to the handpan and obviously other music involved in the, let's call it the wellness space, but it sounds a little bit patronising. But has playing the handpan helped you mentally or with your emotions, dealing with your own emotions? Because obviously flow and feeling joy and all these things, even when you feel sad, I find helps me when I play the handpan. Does it help you emotionally playing the way you do?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I feel like yeah, it's such a beautiful way to also connect with my feelings. And
Yeah.
sometimes the handpan gives me more insight of what's actually present inside of myself than what I know. So this sometimes interesting. It acts like a mirror, and sometimes it shows me things that I'm not aware of.
Oh right.
And yeah, and it definitely helps me to yeah, to feel more connected with myself, and also in dealing with emotions, dealing with situations. Like sometimes there's so much present inside of me, and I'm like, okay, I need my handpan. Like I need to make music. I need to get that out.
Uh huh. So it helps you when you're feeling a little bit anxious or stressed. It helps you to play to help you feel
Mm.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, it
What
does.
would you say to anybody that could use music more to help them heal inside?
Mm. Yeah, I feel like it does play a huge part. Like I said, also in connecting with yourself, and like I don't know, like something what I really love to do is like sometimes there's a feeling inside of me, and I'm like, okay, I want to express that on the handpan, and then I'm looking for a specific note that resonates exactly with that feeling, and then I look for another note, and then I'm like, oh, these two, they're kind of like resonating with what's inside of me, and then I don't know, like I feel like it's yeah, it's interesting to use this instrument as a some kind of guide or help, or a little helper that brings you
Yeah.
more in connection with yourself.
No, you don't have a very close-in shot of you when you play. You are taking on all the lovely landscape that you're sitting in. So I can never quite 100% tell whether if you have your eyes closed. But do you play with your eyes closed when you play?
I think it often looks like that, but I'm definitely not playing with my eyes closed the
Okay.
whole time. It's more
Yeah.
that I am looking down, but it's surprising. Yeah, surprisingly, it looks like that. But um,
Do
it's
you
great.
play with your eyes closed when you're at home? Maybe. Do you
Yeah,
play in the
sometimes
dark?
sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Yeah,
I
yeah.
do it. I do it all the time. I
Oh,
love it. I
really?
love doing it. Yeah, I really love playing in the dark. I just feel like it really. Before I go to bed, I turn all the
Mm,
lights off and I try and play for 20 minutes. And
mm.
when I finish, I'm just so relaxed. I feel
Nice.
like I'm
Yeah.
just ready to go to sleep. It's just pure darkness, and then I'm not thinking about where I'm putting my hands. I'm just playing.
Mm.
So yeah, you know, have a go at doing that, Julie. You might
Yeah.
enjoy that. You never know.
I feel like it's such a beautiful practice to do before going to sleep as well. And I feel like especially the hours in the evening or in the night, they are so inspiring for me. I feel like it's a really specific energy also when all the people are asleep usually, and it's like really quiet. Like you can feel it that the world is going into this more
Yeah.
yeah, and this into this quietness, and then I feel like it's really magical to connect with your instrument in that time, and to also wind down from the day before going to bed. It's super nice practice.
As we draw into the winter, will you continue to play outside, or will you start to now play inside more? Do you think?
I think for the videos, I will still go outside. I mean, if it's not like minus degrees and completely freezing or snowing and raining the whole time, I will definitely keep on making videos. But I also produced a lot of videos in the last couple of days, so I already have many videos ready for the next couple of months. So I don't have to do so many in winter, and maybe I will also go to a warmer place in the beginning of next year. So more possibilities to
Yes.
record in the warmer spaces again.
Where did you go last year? You went somewhere beautiful, didn't you? On holiday. You went on holiday to some lovely Spanish island. Was that right?
Yeah,
Where did you go?
Tenerife.
Yeah, that looked
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, that was really beautiful.
Yeah, it's playing near the sea. That's a whole new areas of noise and sound to deal with. But I'm sure
Mm.
playing and that I'm jumping around a little bit. Were you playing near the water when you played with Kabecao on that lovely video
Yes,
that you did?
yes,
Yeah.
it
Oh,
was
there
at
you
the
go. It
lake.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was different. That felt very special. I'm sure.
Mm.
Tell me about that video. Tell me about that experience playing with him, like the way you did. You were facing each other, right?
Oh gosh, yes. I'm so glad that we got to make this video because we have talked about it a couple of days before already, and we were like, "Oh, we really want to make a video together." And then the festival went by, and we're like this was basically the last evening that we had. And at some point, he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, Julia, let's do the video now. There's the sun down. Let's sit by the lake." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah,
But we didn't have matching scales, so we were like, "Okay, let's play on one instrument." And I really loved the astronaut, and I feel like it's such a beautiful instrument. And I mean, the
yeah.
pygmy, and it's like so nice. So I just got my equipment, and he was already sitting there on this little platform by the lake. And so I set up my camera and I joined him, and I had no idea what was going to happen. I mean, we have jammed on one handpan before once, like a couple of months ago. But besides that, we haven't really jammed together. And I was like, okay, I have no idea what's going to happen. We have no plan. Like, it's also not the usual thing. We agree on a chord progression and go from there. It was just, okay, let's just go with the flow. And it's so interesting because I didn't feel nervous at all. I was just sitting down. I was like, okay, just trust in that, trust in the moment. And
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I feel like his energy is already so beautiful, and it was so nice to tap into that field together, to sit there with his instrument, to have the sun down, to have the lake, to have a couple of people nearby that were enjoying the sundown. Like, it was such a beautiful energy. Also
Yeah.
at the last day from the Pangonia Handpan Festival, it was so nice and so perfect. Everyone was in such a beautiful energy, and we just started playing. And yeah, it was a really lovely like question and answer and dialogue
Yeah.
thing. And I really loved how it turned out. Like it's one of my favorite videos. I love the connection, I love the playing, I love the little moments that came out of that, the ducks, and it's
Oh, it
just
was so lovely to watch. I mean, the great thing about Cabe is obviously he's an exceptionally talented player. But what I love to see him do is leave that space. You know, he's letting it was a conversation that you were having with him through
yeah,
music, and I know you do that anyway. But there was something much more special with that being on that one handpan, like you said,
yes,
and there's something very naive is not a very nice word, but it was very sweet to see that unknowing. You know, you said you were both relaxed, and you could see you were relaxed, but you didn't know. You could see that you didn't know what was going to be played, but when you have a conversation with somebody you've not had a conversation with before, you don't know how
yes,
it's going to go, and
yes,
so you
exactly.
had the conversation through music, and it was beautiful. So well done for doing that.
Exactly. Yes, it was so nice, and he's so attentive, like to it, everything I was doing. He was so attentive and had the perfect answer, and like it's crazy, crazy. But really, also like not having a plan, but like just taking like every new moment, taking in what's new, and then reacting to it, and yeah.
So he's obviously one of the most famous handpan players in the world. Is there a handpan player that I need to know about, Julia, that I might not know about, that I need to look out for, that you know online or somebody that you've met?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like I don't know, but you know him already. Like I cannot think of anyone else, but I feel like a person that I'm always saying that I really, 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 really want that the whole world knows him is Konstantin Rossler, because like absolutely love his playing. Like for me, like I connect so much with his playing. I'm like, gosh, I really, really, really like he deserves so much. He's also such an amazing human being, and it's so nice to witness his journey, to be a little part of it. Like it's yeah, so amazing.
I want to go back to the feelings, and we'll wrap up what we're talking about here. We've covered up quite a lot of things, and I've really appreciated your time. But this is quite a deep question. But do you? Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a personal question. But do you believe in this? In people have souls? Do you believe that you have a soul?
I do. I do.
And can we let our soul come out, or do we just have to sit with our soul? Tell me a bit more about your relationship with your soul.
Mm. Um, yeah, I feel like for me, my playing is definitely connected with my soul, um, and it's definitely something I built up through the last years. Like when I started my kind of spiritual journey, and with all my practices and sitting in meditation and connecting like more with my inner voice. But I feel like um, yeah, it's definitely what gives my music also some kind of essence, because I feel
Yeah.
like if my soul wasn't involved, it would maybe sound kind of empty what I do. Um, so yeah.
it's a fascinating. Everybody has their own interpretation of the soul, right? There's no right way or wrong way of explaining it. But can you tap into your soul? Can you allow it? Can you learn from it, or do you just feel like you need to let it out? How is it you, or is it a deeper part of you, or is it part of who you are?
Mm, yeah, I think some people also refer to it as a higher self. Like for some people, it's like kind of the same thing. Like it's part of you, or and I feel like you can definitely like learn to connect with it. And sometimes I feel like there's like sometimes I'm recording music and I listen back to it and I'm like, what was happening there?
Oh yeah.
Like whatever I have played there, like was it really coming from me? And I feel like sometimes there's something flowing through me that is not exactly coming from me. It feels like I am kind of just the channel for something that maybe like needs to be heard. I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
And what are we finding? What do you think we're going to hear from you in the future? What are you going to share with the world, music wise? Is there going to be other instruments, or what do you think the future of Change of Colours will bring?
Oh, nice question. Yeah, I mean, definitely more handpan music. But I would also really love to combine it more with. Mm, I recently played with a girl I just met, and she plays the electric guitar. And I have a history of playing the electric guitar for a couple of years, and I am still so much in love with the sound, um, and it was such a good match with the handpan, and I can
Right.
totally imagine like bringing these two components together, and also maybe with some kind of a little like sound carpet, like having something in the background, like some I don't know, like nice relaxing sounds. I don't know. Like I have no not such a big like I don't know so much about music production and things like that, but it's something I would really love to learn. And also maybe I also have a couple of friends that are producers and like making also techno music. And with one friend, we're talking about like maybe making a track together and bringing
Yeah.
handpan and techno music together. It's like this would be also really nice because I also really have a like big passion for electronic music.
Absolutely. So do I, and I know you do. It's yeah. That's a lovely side of you that some people might not know, for
That's true.
sure. And something else that some people might not know, which I didn't, which when I saw it the other day, you singing with your guitar. Now, that was,
Yeah.
come on, Julia, that was beautiful. I was hoping you were going to say, I'm going to think about singing more with my handpan. Has Amy Naylor got something to
Oh.
worry about in the future? Because you could definitely sing with your handpan in the forest, I think. People would love that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe. Yeah, could be an idea.
It was
I
lovely
should
to hear you
probably.
sing. It sounds like, I've never heard you sing. It was great. It was sounding
Yeah,
really
I'm not
good.
sharing so much about it. I really love to sing. I sing a lot actually, but I'm not sharing so much. But maybe
Well,
in the future.
you have a lovely voice. You have a lovely voice, and it's
Thank
been
you.
lovely to talk to you. So I appreciate your time. And I'm going to wrap up the interview right now and just say thank you for sharing your music. Thank you for sharing your videos, and you bring so much joy to people. And it was a real pleasure to talk to you, Julia. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Phil. Like it's been such a big pleasure. Like I know we've been talking about this for such a long time now to make this interview, and I'm so glad that we finally made it happen. And it's so nice to connect with you, and I feel like yeah, really enjoyed this conversation.